Hello, I'm Philip Russum. I'm the Research Director for Data Management at the Data Warehousing Institute. Today I'm joined by Steve Dine. He's the Managing Partner of Datasource Consulting. Hey Steve, how's it going?
It's going great. Thanks, Philip. Appreciate you having me.
I'm glad you're here. So listen, we're here to talk about clouds. And so, you know, when I mention clouds to a variety of IT people, a common response is, yeah, we've got our application servers up on clouds. That's kind of a first step for a lot of organizations, but I'm not really finding a lot of organizations that have BI or data warehouse platforms on it. And so, but there are some. So I'm kind of wondering, what are you seeing out there? What do you think some of the first or more prominent applications in the world of BI and data warehousing on a cloud?
Sure. You know, there's definitely been a slower uptake than I had thought. I think I first started presenting on the cloud about 2 or 3 years ago. And my sense, having worked with a BI in running a BI program in the past, was that people would jump to the cloud for the flexibility, the scalability that it gives you. And what I've seen is there have been slower adoption. What I generally see today are people going more in the SaaS application side of things. So the software as a service from the BI perspective. There's a number of vendors out there. Most often what I see is really some of the analytic vendors providing truly analytic solutions to move your data up, and they're vertically focused or focused around specific type of analytics.
Yeah, now those are vendors from a user viewpoint. Which parts of their BI data warehouse technology stack would make sense to take to the cloud?
Obviously, there's a number of variables such as the amount of data movement on a daily basis, and total number of users and types of workloads. However, what I generally feel is that right now the front end is the best place, or at least where I'm seeing most companies moving to the cloud first. Now, having said that, there's a number of vendors that have moved entire stacks out to the cloud, as well as customers that have tried to move different parts of their architecture, such as their development environments and their testing environments. And they may keep their production environments internal behind the firewall, but they're moving a lot of their infrastructure for testing and development.
All right, very good, very good. You know, we say cloud as if it were one type of thing, but I guess there are several subspecies. Can you sort it out for us, and also help us understand, if you're looking to move BI and data warehouse solutions, which types of clouds might be the best fit?
Well, generally we classify the types of solutions into public, private, and hybrid. However, I often add a fourth, which is the public-private cloud, where the infrastructure is actually managed by somebody else. However, within that infrastructure, they've created a private cloud within it for you. Now, generally, companies today are challenged by data security, which I think we may talk about later, but those companies are most comfortable, I'm seeing, creating their own private clouds, leveraging their internal infrastructure. They may have already moved to a virtualization technology, and then taking that leap from having that virtualized platform to then providing it on an on-demand basis from behind their firewalls. Generally, people feel more comfortable, and also they feel like they have the ability to control performance better. And as you know, with business intelligence, performance is usually one of the top 3 issues for
and
success.
as we all move closer to real time, it becomes a bigger issue.
A much bigger issue.
All right, very good. So I have talked to people who have moved parts of their BI infrastructure to clouds. Like you said, quite often it's the front end that people take there. Other people take their analytic databases. But regardless of what they're doing, people seem very concerned about data security, privacy, and compliance. You have any thoughts on that?
I do. We talk about security. I've talked about it often. We've spoken at the Executive Summit, and we have a course here at TDWI in the cloud. And security is one of those topics that generally is, when we've done surveys, it's either number 1 or number 2. And generally I find that from a security perspective, our challenges with security tend to be more around BI teams and their ability or their understanding of how to make data secure and how to handle it when you're moving data across a network and maybe outside of your firewall. And the technologies are there for security in the cloud, being able to do things like encrypt your data and mask it. They have very strong physical security in most of the data centers, and most of the data centers are under some sort of a compliance, either SAS 70 Type 2
Yes.
compliance. However, and I remember reading a book that talks about cloud security, and very early on in the book they mentioned, if you want to be 100% confident that your data is secure, then don't move to the cloud. Now, having said that, there's very few environments, even internally, where your data is 100% secure.
Correct.
So what I generally help companies with is first going to their chief security officer and talking about what are compliance challenges we have, jurisdiction challenges. If we were to move our data to a cloud infrastructure, what would we need to do?
Yes.
And I also recommend that the people get more comfortable with securing their own environments before they move out to the cloud, get comfortable with things like masking their data, with encrypting it in database, as well as when you move data over the wire to maybe some external users, such as Salesforces, and get comfortable with how to make data more secure, and then that helps them with getting more comfortable with moving your data off-site.
Yeah, build into it.
Absolutely.
Don't take too much at the beginning. Well, Steve, that's great. And folks, we've been listening to Steve Dine, a managing partner at Datasource Consulting. Thank you for sharing all these great ideas with us. And I'm Philip Russum at TDWI saying thanks for listening.